And we're rolling. So, hey guys, hello and welcome to our hangout this evening. I'm really excited to introduce to you somebody that I had the opportunity to meet. Tammy and I had the opportunity to meet through our coach test group for the Masters Hammer and Chisel. And the thing that's been great about that whole journey is not only our experience with the program, but the people that we met. And Emily Whaley is one of them. She's one of several that we met that have just been so inspiring to us. And the several of us that were invited out to do some of the infomercial filming about a month and a half ago had a chance to really unite and connect and talk to each other and go to dinner and just share a bit of insight as to, where we come from, our backgrounds, and how we've built our coach businesses. And I had heard of Emma before I had met her, but I didn't really know a lot about her, which is usually the case. You hear about some of these top coaches and these elite coaches, and you don't really have an understanding of what their background is, where they came from, and how they've done what they've done. And so as Tammy and I met Emma and her husband, Will, we got to know them a bit, and Emma was sharing some insight about how she had built her coach business primarily through social media. Literally like 90 to 95% of her business, I think she said, has been built through social media. And that's way different than how I've built my business, and I think how many of you have started to build your businesses. But I think what Emma is going to share with us tonight is going to really help us tremendously with respect to how can you be at home, sitting at your computer, and making contacts and connections with people that you've never met before. Like, how has she gone about doing that? So let me just give you a little bit of her accolades and her background. So Emma is the founder of Soar Nation. She has 3 coach business centers at this point in her journey. She has a 9-star diamond business center, a 3-star diamond business center, and her 3rd business center is now at diamond. She's a 2-time elite coach. And in 2014, she was ranked number 37 out of, imagine this, over 300,000 coaches. She is a Success Club All-Star legend. She has spoken at Summit twice. So Emma has been asked to speak in front of thousands of coaches to provide them with education during Summit on 2 separate occasions. And the thing that I love the most about it, she retired her spouse. So she was able to retire her husband from his job because of the success that she had built through Beachbody and her coach business. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Emma because we're so excited to hear what you have to say with respect to branding yourself and building through social media. So over you to Emma. Let me just unmute you and you're good to go.
Well, thanks for the intro. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. With the first year we hit elite, I didn't even know what it was. And
Right.
now we're gonna hit elite again this year, and it's not really me, but it's just the tribe of people that you end up attracting to your team, and then they catch a glimpse of the vision that you have, and then you just help them to run with it side by side. And so it's pretty exciting. Just to kind of give you a little background on me, I didn't come into this business thinking that it was going to blow up and I was going to retire my husband. That was like the furthest thing from my mind. My story starts, we had just moved to Hawaii and I had my last baby, and then I also had 4 other children that were all under 10 years old. And I had gained 55 pounds with my last pregnancy and just was in a big pit of depression because we were broke as a joke, like really broke, paying a lot of child support and alimony for my older stepsons. And we just moved to an island. I had all this weight to lose. I had a new baby and then little kids, and they wanted me to go to the beach with them. And I didn't want to. I just wanted to go to sleep and just hide because I was barely making it through the day. And if you're familiar with military, like you just kind of have to do what they say. My husband immediately went to work. I had to unpack the house with a new baby. He helped a lot, but when he could, but it was just a tough time. And in the middle of the night, I was up with the baby and I saw an infomercial for Turbo Fire, and I ordered it and I had to charge it with the payment plan on my credit card. And within a few weeks, I started to feel like myself again. The endorphins came back in. And within the first 5 months, I ended up running a half marathon just to like, I wanted to prove to myself that I could. And I'm a terrible runner. But anyway, but that's what it did for me, is it made me feel like I could do hard things again. And within that first year, I was inviting people over to my house to work out with me because I felt so good and I was posting about it on social media. So I was already coaching for about a year before I ever became a coach. And I was hiking up the mountains in Hawaii and just with my baby on the backpack and a baby on the front. And I was just feeling alive, but a couple of people had presented the coaching opportunity to me, like not coaches, like my sister-in-law, and they're like, you should be a coach. I heard Beachbody has coaching things and whatever. And I said, no, heck no, I'm not selling stuff. I had done that before with a home-based business and failed miserably. Like I was terrible at it, terrible. And so my husband was like, no way, this is not going to happen. But he left on deployment. And I was home, and something that my upline coach posted on social media connected with me. She said military coaches could sign up for free. So I was like, ooh, there's no risk. And you had the ability to make money at home. I had been Facebook stalking her. I didn't like or comment on her stuff. Like I was the Facebook stalker, I had like 100 friends and I never went on there. And I was watching her though, post sweaty selfies, and she would share that she was going to Summit, and she would post her meal prep. And I was like, how does she get paid for this stuff? That's kind of cool. So when she posted that military picture, it was a terrible stock photo that you shouldn't use. I said yes. And I think I waited a week and I messaged her and I was like, tell me more about this military thing. And then we talked for months. I ran her through the ringer, and finally one day I woke up and I was like, I'm ready. Let's do it. So I signed up, and Will was on deployment, so I didn't have to ask for permission. But when he came back, he wasn't super excited about it, but I was. And that was in August of 2011. And then I didn't start actually coaching until November. And I started my first challenge group. We didn't have challenge group guides or anything. And I just put together a Facebook group, grabbed a couple of my friends in there. And at the end of that group, we went through the holidays and they didn't gain weight. In fact, they thanked me and they were like, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I couldn't have done this without you. And I was like, oh, whoa, this feels really, really good. It feels good to be giving back. And of course, I had sold a couple of challenge packs to get them into the challenge group, and then the others ordered from eBay or something, but I didn't care. I just wanted to get some success stories. So that's how I started. And so the first year, we went through 2012, and I just was really focused on challenge groups. I loved them, and I just kept doing those. And then at the end of 2012, I went from diamond to ruby and lost my rank. And I was like, crap, well, if I'm going to actually take time away from my children that are still tiny, and 3 toddlers at this time, they were under 6. They're little. They need mama. And if I'm going to take time away from them, then this better pay my family back because we're still very in debt. And so that year I committed to doing personal development. I signed up for the Success Club cruise and put my money where my mouth was, so to speak, and just wanted to become a way better leader and stop focusing on me. And it wasn't about me anymore. It was about how can I help other people to be successful, and how can I help other people to feel what I feel when people say thank you. And so that year we went to Elite. That was not a goal. I just wanted to help people succeed. And then last year we were Elite, and the rest is history. And we got to go on that Success Club cruise, and that was the kind of the turning point, the aha moment for my husband. So we would never have been able to take a trip like that, ever, without kids. We have 5 kids, no way. But he was like, this is really cool, babe. And we met some of our best friends and formed relationships there. So little plug, always go to events. Please bring your spouse to events. My husband would say that over and over again. Bring your spouse to an event and get them just as involved in this business on that level, not necessarily working with you if they're not interested, but like get them there so that it becomes a we business and not an I business, because that'll change everything for you. So I'm going to get into social media. I just want to, first of all, say this could be like a full day webinar, like a full day workshop to do social media. It is so intense with what you can do with it. And I've only done a tip of the iceberg, but it's allowed me to bring in a healthy 6-figure income and retire my spouse. And so I might be doing something right. And I'm going to share some things. And then if there's things that like you want more information on or whatever, Google it, because there's lots of good training out there. I promise you. So, all right, here are the basics of social media. Let me share my screen. And Alrighty. See, I put a disclaimer. I'm not an expert growing your business on Facebook. So, okay, the setup. So the first thing is that you want to open your page to public. And a lot of people, especially on my team, when they get started, they're like, hey, Emma, it's so cool to follow you. I find you really like real and inspiring. You share your stuff. And a lot of those people never would have found me had my page been set to private. So go into your personal settings and open it up to public. Now, if you're thinking, I don't want everybody to see my stuff, if you don't want people to see your old pictures or whatever, go delete that content and put it in a private Instagram account or a private Facebook page or put it on a blog, okay? And then you can just share those particular stories and milestones with your family or pictures with just the people that you want to share those with. Because this, you guys, I don't think you understand, this is such a huge opportunity to find your niche market, people that are just like you that you'd want to hang out with. And the majority of Facebook, you don't even have to pay for. There will be, I'll talk about how you do ads in a minute, but anyway, okay, so number 2, have a profile pic that's you looking happy. Don't have your puppy or your baby or a quote or randomness, like a picture of Elf on the Shelf. I saw that today. I'm like, what? But you can't, people want to know who you are because you are the brand. If they want to just buy a Beachbody product, they'll go to beachbody.com. But if they want to work with you, they want to see your beautiful face and they'll remember that little teeny profile picture. It's tiny. So remember, it has to be something clear where they can see your gorgeous face. And that's big. Facial recognition in this business is really huge. Number 3, delete anything you don't want. I just said that. Okay, and then create a cover photo that represents your brand. You can use PicMonkey. They're great. It's picmonkey.com and use that to edit. It's very, very, very user-friendly for beginners. Yeah, like me. Here's a couple of examples of Facebook banners that I did. This is my brand, family, adventure, fitness, faith, things like that. So this one is the one I'm currently running with. But that way, when people click on my profile, whether it's my friend page or my like page, I recommend doing both, particularly because right now, Facebook is cracking down on people using their personal pages to run their business, and they can shut you down just like that. So you want to do more content that's family and just friend interaction, stuff like that. That's why it's so important to not post a bunch of Beachbody ads on your wall. You don't want it to be anything like that. You want it to be you. And then on your fan page, when you go to any fan page, which is a like page, you can click create page and then choose either public figure or coach. And that way it'll open it up and so you can use that to grow. But you want people that when they go on here, they see your profile picture, they're like, look at that happy, beautiful person. They look friendly and nice. And then they'll see your cover photo and in a second they can decide, I like them. Or they don't. But if you have like Beachbody stuff, Shakeology pictures and things, they're going to be like, oh, they're just selling at me. No thanks. No. Right? Okay. So what is your brand? And this is so cool. This is one of my favorite things to talk about is that you were born an original. And so why would you try to be a copy of someone else? Like, why would you even do that? And so with growing your business, I highly recommend not following other coaches, unless it's like people on your team. And here's why, because you'll see them do something like, oh, she just posted a before and after picture. I should go post a before and after picture. She just made a recipe of Shakeology. I should do that. She did it. And then you start mimicking other people. And anytime you're a copy of someone else, it's never as good as their original. So maybe choose like 3 coaches that you really connect with that are top coaches. And you can don't necessarily follow them, but go to their page and get a couple ideas if you ever get stuck, but then hop off them and focus on growing your friend network. Give the majority of your attention to people you're trying to build your relationship with or to your own team that you're trying to show support for. So like you guys on your team, you want to like and comment on each other's stuff. Okay. So what is your brand? All coaches have things that are the same. Why did you become a coach? Well, I want to help people achieve their goals with fitness and earn some extra money. We all are the same, right? We all had a transformation story. We all like the products. We're all gung-ho wearing the wear and share. But what makes you different? Because why you're different is why somebody is going to want to work with you. So you want to lead with your different. So an exercise that you can do later that is very helpful is write down absolutely everything that makes you different. So for example, things that make me different. I love to adventure and travel. I love to hike and run and do DIY crafts. I did homeschool, preschool with my kids. I like fashion and shoes and purses. I love to try new food in restaurants. I prefer to eat out versus eating at home, which isn't great. I love to dance, and I try to play the piano and be musical, but I'm not. So there's lots of things. Plus, I've been through really hard things in my life. Like I have an adoption story. I have mental illness issues. I live with somebody that has mental illness. I'm a military spouse. We retired my hubby. He's served deployments. Do you see how long my list is of why I'm different than so many people? And the part of my same was so tiny, right? So you make this long list of who you are. Maybe you like to hunt or fish or ride horses, or you're a freaking rock star with creating graphic tees. I don't know. What's your thing? Or maybe you're really good at DIY. That's big. Make your list and then highlight the 5 or 6 you want to be known for. Like these are, if I was to write a 5 or 6 chapter book, those are my things. Those are what, when I die, I want people to say, those are what I remember about that person. Okay? For me, faith is huge for me. And I encompass faith with, I believe in God and Christianity, but also faith is believing in yourself and mind over matter and all of that. So faith is kind of a very big, broad topic for me. And I fully believe in mastering your mindset. And so that's a big one I talk about all the time. Family. All of us put family. I want to be known as a family person, right? But what about your family? Like I'm a stepmom, I'm a military spouse. We have a big family and we have fur babies. So those are all things that make us a unique family. Fitness and coaching, of course, has to be one of those because it's a big part of your life now. And then I like to adventure, and then I throw in some things that here and there with fashion every now and then just for fun. And then, like I said, we live with mental health, and I believe firmly that those things are intertwined, so I talk about them quite a bit. So mental health with physical health. So. Okay, hold on, let me push this to the side. There we go. Consistency is key. So I don't know if you know this or not, but when you open your business as an entrepreneur, people are going to watch you before they're going to join you. They have to watch and go, are they for real? Are they going to stick with this thing? Is this like a splash in the pan? So if you are like, I am so excited to get fit. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm starting a challenge group Monday. Who wants to join me? And then 4 days go by and you don't do anything online. And then you hop on Friday and you're like, here's 15,000 posts about my day. Then people are going to go, what? What is she doing? Like it won't make any sense to them. But just like there's structured hours with any business, like a gym, or if you were to open a restaurant, there's given like hours on the door of when they're open. So you have to consistently open your business online. That doesn't mean you need to be on there all the time, but every day post something and show little aspects of your life. So posting during peak times of the day is going to help you to have more eyes on your content. You post something really, life-changing at midnight, no one will see it. And then you're going to go, hey, nobody likes my stuff. No, it's not they didn't like it. They're asleep. They didn't see it. And by the time they wake up, there's been thousands of people that have posted on Facebook in between then, right? So your thing went it's gone. It's out of here. So you want to post during peak times of the day. That's usually where the majority of your people live. Like if you grew up somewhere, you still live there, post during that time. I'm a military spouse, so my people are all over the world. So it's kind of give or take. So I just post according to Pacific Standard Time for me. And it's before breakfast, during the lunch hour of like noon, and then after dinner is a great time to post because people are sitting watching TV and scrolling. Okay, pre-schedule posts if you need to. When you open a like page, there's a little clock that you can pre-schedule your posts. Now with that being said, you're not going to post and run. We're going to get into that in just a second. But you can pre-schedule them if you need to. It's better to have something pre-scheduled on your page 3 times a day than have nothing for 3 days. Right? Or to do it at midnight. That's just weird. People are going to, why is she up at midnight? So if you're new to Facebook, 2 to 3 times is great. Get on there 2 to 3 times. But me, I'm like the Facebook reality show. I've been building this now. I started with like 100 friends. And now I have, I think like 3,000 friends and then 12,000 followers and then a bunch of people follow me on the page. So people know me and they expect me to be on there all the time. It's like the Emma reality show, but they feel like they totally are my bestie living next door because they know what's going on in my life. So, and then you rotate through your brand. So all of my content is not going to be fitness, 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 fitness. I talk about the kids and faith and awesome quotes and stuff like that. And then here's a tip that I love. Have a system or a formula. When my coaches get started, they're like, I have no idea what to share. Here you go. Here's an idea. So you may filter in like your family, your other parts of your brand, but for your fitness category or your beach body category, here's some things to do so that you wake up and you kind of know what's coming. Or we're all going to wake up some days and go, I have no motivation. I have no idea what to post or share. So I'm not going to say anything because it sucks. Don't do that. So here's a plan. So, and then some days you're going to be like, I'm so inspired on top of the world because that's how our brains work. Sometimes we're way more creative and sometimes we're not. On the days you have a ton of content that you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling good today. Or even when you have time to sit down and like edit photos and add quotes or make movies or whatever, you can do them in a bulk like time. Or maybe somebody does something on their wall and you're like, wow, that's a really good idea. Create some folders on your phone or your laptop computer and have them titled with different categories like faith, family, motivation, nutrition tip, whatever it is that you want to do. And then you can either share the post that they did into your folder and you can recreate that as your own later. Or you can store your awesome story ideas that you're like, this is mind blowing, and put them in there. So when you wake up and you have that deer in the headlights, like, I don't even know what to say. Then you can go to your folder and say, okay, boom, there we go. Done. But this is just a fun way. Like my new coaches are always like, Emma, I don't even know what to say. But if you're consistent, if you come up with a plan like this and you can hashtag it, you can hashtag it Emma Faith or Dawn's motivation for the day. And then people will come searching for it on Monday if they know it's coming. One of my top coaches on my team, she's a star diamond stay-at-home mommy of 3 boys under 4. Talk about busy. But she's a home ec teacher. That's part of her brand. So she started this thing called Fun Food Friday, where she takes one food on Friday and she educates you on what it is and why it's good for you. And then she shares 5 to 10 recipes that she's made with her name. Like it's not from the internet, it's her stuff. Throughout the day. And so everybody comes to her page on Fun Food Friday to see what she's talking about. So if you did that like Workout Wednesday, that was a big thing for me is people would always come to my page for Workout Wednesday. And I would either have a picture collage of different moves that I'm showing and how to do them, or I would do a very short video. And they would come looking for it every Wednesday. Where's your workout tip? And so there's different things you can do. And then I have Fun Fit Flex, Fierce Funny, other F word Friday, and people come looking for that too. They're like, what is it today? What are we doing? And so that's how you build your tribe, your people that connect with you. So
Good stuff, Emma.
Is it helpful at all?
Oh my gosh, keep going.
Okay. I'm going to pause for 1 second, okay? Because I'm talking a lot about how to incorporate your fitness content, but then you're like, wait, there's 4 other things of my brand. So here's the thing. What you're trying to do is find people that are just like you that you would actually want to invite over to have dinner with your family, okay? You want to find your tribe. And the majority of my team of coaches that are now like my very best friends, I found on my page because of this. So when you're posting and sharing, you're showing parts of your family or things you're interested in, or, maybe a deal, like if you're into guns and they have guns half off. I don't know why I said that. Somebody just shared that. That's fine. Anyway, but if they that's interesting to you, share it to your page because then it's interesting to your people. You know what I mean? And you might build a connective tissue with somebody about parenthood of toddlers, or maybe a child with autism if you have a child with autism, or piano, you're passionate about piano, or fashion, or shoes, or DIY, or whatever your other parts of your brand are. For me, a lot of mine is mental health. A lot of people love to follow me for that. And you're building these connective tissues. And it can be something silly like maybe you're obsessed with cilantro. I have a friend that is building her brand according to that. She's obsessed with cilantro. It's weird. And so she has all these cilantro freaks following her, but they build this connective tissue and they feel like, I can hang out with you. You get me. It might be wine. I don't know. And then they build a relationship. And then when they need something with fitness or with nutrition, or maybe something new in their life with coaching, they know who to go to because they already trust that person on a different level. So that's why it's important to share your brand, and you're just not all about fitness, because you're very multidimensional, right? You're an interesting person, right? Yes. Nod your head. You are. Good job. Okay. So here's how I map out my stuff so that I know what to post on social media. So what I do is I map out my groups, and they're pretty much the same every month. The first week of the month, I'm going to start at Coach Basics. This example here is actually one of my coaches, so it doesn't fit. Unless there's holidays, then I adjust it slightly. But the first week of the month starts Coach Basics. So I know 2 weeks prior to that, I'm going to have a coach opportunity event, to like a coach call or something. So I am inviting people to join my team, then I can follow up with them, help them get signed up before we start Coach Basics, first week of the month. The second week of the month is usually I'm planting seeds about my challenge group, because I always start my challenge group the closest Monday to the 15th of the month. Here's why. I want to have my cutoff date like the 7th. So that way I'm locking in Success Club the first week, and then I can help my coaches do the same. Then I have Success Club done, right? If you start your challenge groups on the 1st, then you're locking it in like the last week of the month. And that's stressful, because then you're on the 30th going, I didn't hit Success Club, crap. But then, so I'm planting seeds 2 weeks prior. So I'm telling you the dates of when I start things, then go back 2 weeks and you'll plant seeds for those on social media. And I'll explain that in a minute. So then the third week of the month is always going to be, it's like a coach sneak peek or open house. You know, I talked about that. Then the last week is always a free group of some kind to build trust. That's a perfect week to do, hey, we're at the end of the month. Did you hit your goals? Did you not? Here's a free clean eating group. Here's a buns and gut challenge. Here's an upper body group. You know, whatever it is that you want to do. The hammer and chisel on BOD is a great group to run, or like a 5-day group on just using BOD workouts. So always offer a freemium of some kind, and then people build trust with you in a free group. And then when that ends on the Thursday or Friday, you talk to them about the next step with joining your challenge group. See, this is the last week of the month. So that way when your challenge group comes around, guess what? You can invite those people to join your challenge group happening in 2 weeks. It gives them a full week to order.
Yeah. That's good.
All right. Okay, so have you guys heard of this book? This is great for social media content, jab, 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 right hook. And it talks about all avenues of social media, but we're just kind of focusing on Facebook. So how I've done this, like for example, tonight I have a coaching opportunity call, and my focus right now is recruiting for the new year because I need help growing the team, and it's going to be a busy season. So here's things I've done recently. So here's a before and after picture. So I talked about, oh my gosh, what a difference it can make. Like this is me when I'm in my early 20s, and this is me when I'm 34, where I'm confident, healthy, happy after kids and deployments and everything. And so the business has helped me to become that person. So I talked about that. I posted this today of being able to work in my sweatpants with my slippers because my son was sick and I had to stay home with him. And for a lot of people that get dressed up and shovel snow off their car and have to drive to work in traffic, they would love to stay home when it's cold in slippers and be able to work from their computer, right? So that's just a relatable post I did. And then I shared this last week when I hopped online with my diamond leaders, and I was like, I love that I get to hop online with some of my very best friends that I've met from all over, and we live all over the world, in fact, and we get to hop online and goal, set our goals. And everybody on this picture, except for this one, I met online. And so you can grow your team that way. And then here's my right hook. So the actual invite. So in those posts, I didn't say anything about please join my team, click here for info on coaching. That's just planting a seed. And I've been doing that in the last week. And here is where I did my right hook with a picture collage. And I explained my story of how I became a coach and was able to stay home. What happened? You start with where you were, what's happening, and where you're going. And then at the end, I said, click here. And I have a little link to get more information. So jab, 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 right hook. So tell your story to show how you're living healthy. Don't share post or stock photos. Please don't post all the Master Hammer and Chisel photos or Shakeology photos. It's okay to filter those in once in a while, but you have to have a really good reason why. And share why. And when you share something from somebody else's wall, it tells Facebook, oh, this person doesn't have any original ideas. They can't come up with their own content. So I'm going to post that low for their friends so they won't see it. So if you do see a photo from Carl, Hammer and Chisel, Shakeology, or whoever, copy it, save it to your computer or your phone, and then upload it as your own. And Facebook will go, this person is so smart, they have all their own content, and they'll show it to more of your friends. And so tell your story about like why you're excited, not just Hammer and Chisel came out today. Yay. You know, like what is it about it that you like? So here's an example of what I did. So I put story time. So I've told you that my mom is the food prep boss. She came and stayed with me when I had no surgery. So, and then here's what I wrote. And I write like I talk because I want to talk to people the way I would if they were in front of me. And so here's some ideas. You see how I'm just adding value. Here's some ideas of what she made. And she drinks Shakeology. So there's a little plug in there for Shakeology. But the majority of the post isn't drink Shakeology every day because it has all these ingredients. It's adding content, slight little planted seed, and it's never too late to get started on healthy living. I don't know why this is so small. We are a work in progress. And so people reading that can be inspired like, oh, if Emma's mama can do it, then I can do it. So there's a real life example. Here's another example of sharing your story. So I told you mental health is important to me. So I put this depression is selfish, and I edited this photo on PicMonkey. It's not hard to do this. It took me literally like a minute. And I wrote a story about how to live with mental health and how it's a struggle, but how you can help yourself by doing certain actions. And included in there was healthy eating, sleeping well, and fitness. But then the big part of my post was, when you're in the service of other people, it's impossible to feel sad. It just is. So this one got 60 likes and 20-something comments and 18 shares. Because people don't talk about that real, honest stuff, right? And that's me opening up to my tribe saying, I'm like you. I get it. Here's how I can help. Now here's another one, proud wifey moment of my husband. Where I talked about how, you know, my husband wasn't a huge fan of healthy eating, but I'm really proud of him because since July, he's lost all this weight. And I got 180 likes on that one and like 40 comments because I just said, can you guys help me cheer him on? He doesn't like his face on Facebook all that much, but inspiring other people helps them to want to share these photos or something along those lines. So that's my husband. And so you guys can share each other's photos or somebody in your family, somebody on your team, and like shout out to them. Because when you're supportive of other people, people want to hang out with you because they're like, that's a nice person. She or he cheers people on. Give praise and shout outs to your clients and team. Here's a friend of mine. And I just was like, isn't this awesome, you guys? Check her out. And I wasn't like, Britt lost this much weight with the Beachbody Challenge because I'm not a robot. It's me. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of her. You go, girl. Because that's how I talk. But that also helps to build like trust in me because they're like, she's creating results. She has all these people that are reaching their goals without me having to actually say that. So, okay, never post and run. So I posted earlier, it's important to be consistent, but let's be realistic. We're really busy. We have stuff we have to do all the time. So you can create a post when you have time during the day and then just hit send, or you can pre-schedule your post if needed, you know. And then when you post, set a timer or something on your phone if it's pre-scheduled so you'll know to hop on there and just, sorry about that. So you'll know to like and, hold on. Phone's so loud. So you'll know to go in there because here's a little Facebook trick, okay? When you post something and people start to like it, then that's great, right? But when people start to comment or share, like when they comment, you want to tag them back, and at least in the first 10 minutes of the post being up. So if like say Don was like, good job, Emma, I would tag him back at Don Murphy. Thanks so much for your support. And you can ask a question because the more comments, likes, and shares are on your stuff, the more Facebook will say, this person is liked by their friends. They are engaging. People want to see the next post they do. So it gets to more eyes. And every time you tag someone back in an individual comment, so you want to click down the next line and put at so-and-so so it tags them, that's going to show it to all their friends as well. And chances are, if you're friends with that person, you're going to probably want to be friends with their friends. You'll have something in common, right? And then if people start talking about their goals, I don't like to do anything on my wall with goals. I always say, I would love to talk to you about this further. I'll message you. So that way you're not going to reveal their dark secrets online, because people will open up to you in a personal message or a phone call. So, talk to people like they are in your living room. Engage, connect, inspire. Love on them and make them laugh. So a little humor goes a long way, right? People like to see lighthearted things. They love to laugh. So here's a goofy one. This is just me being such a dork. People are asking me about my nose because I don't know if you guys know, I broke my nose 3 times and had to have it fixed because I couldn't breathe. And right after Master Hammer and Chisel, which really sucked, because then I had to stop working out. Anyway,
I'm sorry. How'd you break your nose 3 times?
Yeah, that's a story for another day.
Okay.
The last one was I was head slammed by my 4-year-old. He tackled me and just fell, just collapsed. So anyway, so I was like, okay, so for those who wanted to pick, and so this is just me talking like I would, or typing like I would talk. Everyone be cool. Okay, this is your public debut of your nose. Okay, must point at splint. And then, bahaha, you're so not cool. Oh wait, ow, that hurts, don't laugh. And then go back to hands on hips, classic pose. Sheesh, that took a lot of work. Hope you enjoyed this collage. Are you still reading this? Awesome, I love you for it. And that got 45 likes because I'm just being silly and it's being me, right? People love relatable, funny, and interesting. I posted this tree. It's the tallest tree in North America. And I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. If you think it's cool, people will think it's cool. So I shared it and it got 104 likes and like 10 comments. Whoa! Even Autumn Calvary's like that tree. Anyway, and then here's an idea. Like a big part of my brand is being a hands-on mommy. And so we made ornaments. So I shared it for an idea. And I just said a Pinterest craft that actually worked. So other moms are like, oh, really? Once a week, I do a this or that post. And it could be food. It can be shoes. It can be cardio or weights today. It can be lots of things. It's a this or that because people love to give their opinion. And if it's a fast thing like A or B, then they'll post and run. But if it's a long, drawn-out explanation, they don't have time for that. So just do something quick. So this is what I said on this. So I'm heading to the Garth Brooks concert tonight. I'm so excited because this was a dream of mine since I was 14 years old. What do you think? This or that? It got I think it was 50 comments and almost 100 likes. So just a way to engage with my people, my brand. And then I talked earlier about offering 1 to 2 freemiums a month. So I always do my free groups. And I do a mix of different things. There's lots of different guides out there of how to run them. Or if you want me to share a couple with you, I would be happy to. It's all mapped out, like what to post every day, the recipes for free cleaning groups, etc. And I do a free group every month. And I always boost this post to get more people like me. And when I boost, I put targeted words of the people I'm trying to find. Motherhood, Christianity, military spouses, etc. People like me. Now this is Phoenix Fit Club. If you haven't yet, start inviting people to come work out with you, whether it's at the gym or your living room. I started Fit Club in my living room with all my kids running around, and I would just push the furniture aside. And here's why. Because what this did was on Facebook, they have different groups, right? So you can find running groups, hiking groups, DIY, moms of preschoolers, the gun clubs, the biker clubs, everything in your local community. And what I would do is I would go in there, and you can't post sales ads like, hey, I'm a coach, want to join my fitness thing, or Shakeology's on sale this month for $10, or, well, you know what I mean. 21 Day Fix is $10 if you get Shakeology. You can't do any of that stuff. But what you can do is I would post my page and say, hey everyone, I'm looking to meet some friends that are interested in fitness as well. I just would love some accountability buddies that would want to come work out with me. I have a free fit club. So if you want some more info, here's my page. That's it. And people would let me post that. And I would do it every single week. And then by posting the pictures of me working out with my friends at my house, it builds trust with people online. And they're like, oh, she's not a robot or some creepy dude that's posting pictures of her, so builds trust.
Wow. Emma, are those pictures taken in your living room? Like, do you still do a fit club in your living room?
I've moved it to my garage. So we have a two-car garage, and we kick the cars out of there, lay down some horse mats, put up some mirrors and a TV, and it's in my garage. So yeah, I literally will meet people in town or online and say, come work out with me every Saturday. Or you could go hiking. Like, we went hiking last week, and just to explore the area. And it's just a way to like fellowship. But I've signed more coaches from doing Fit Club than anything else, because they see me, they sweat with me, they get to know me. This one's been going for 6 weeks, and I've signed 3 coaches from it.
That's excellent. Wow.
Yeah. Maybe 2 months. Anyway, okay. Here's the secret sauce to success. All right. If I don't teach you anything else, this is it. Because if you don't even do anything on Facebook but this, then here we go. Okay. The magic is in the power of 3. Are we familiar with that? No? Yes? Okay. I'll go through it anyway. Post 3 times a day on Facebook. We talked about that. No matter what, it's your job description. Just do it. Number 2, add 3 friends. I mentioned earlier there's groups. So the more specific you can be with who you are, like if you have hypothyroidism, if you struggle with diabetes, if you are a mom to twins or a dad to twins, if you're, a mom over 40, anything like that, the more specific you can be, the better. And you can search for these groups in Facebook and request to join, right? So you can go in there, and what I do is you have to be a friend in order to get any friends. So I see posts that people do that I can add value to, like if they ask a question and I know the answer, especially a motherhood question, because I have older kids now, then I'll like and comment on it. And when you create chatter with somebody, you're having a conversation, then I'll add them as a friend, because chances are if we're chatting and we have similar interests, we might as well be friends, right? Other way is if people like my Facebook page and they start liking and commenting on my posts, I'll go in, click on their name so I get their Facebook link, and then add them as a friend. And I just say, hey, thanks for the ad. It's fun to meet like-minded friends that have the same goals. Are you in the fitness field or just working on your own goals? That's what I say to people that like my page, and I add them as a friend. If it's somebody I met through a group, then I'll say, it's fun to meet like-minded friends that have the same goals. What do you do for a living? Or do you live around here? I live in Arizona. Where do you live? Or whatever. If I meet them at the park or at the kids' functions or at church or wherever else I go, I get out my phone and I say, are you on Facebook? I would love to add you as a friend. And then I'll add them in there, and I make sure to show them, like, oh, is this one you? Okay, I just sent you an ad. And I'll message them later that day or the next day and say, hey, it was great to meet you today. Your kids are adorable, or I love the Bible study lesson, whatever, something personal. And do you work, or are you free to hang out during the week? And then I start to form them. We all know what forming is, right? And we just start to build a relationship. I don't mention anything about Beachbody, but I send 3 reach out or HAGRL is what I call them, messages a day. So, and then the 4th thing is invite 3 people. By doing the first 3, you're going to have people that are going to start sharing their goals, or they'll ask you, what do you do? Well, I'm a health and fitness coach with Beachbody. They'll go, oh, I need to get in shape. That's cool. Or I have 21 Day Fix. And that starts a conversation so that you can go into the invite process. And then make sure you follow up. Sometimes I have to follow up with 5 to 10 people a day. And 5 to 10 times before they'll be ready. But once they're ready, they're ready. Okay, video. Right now, video is the hottest thing, and I can't share them on a PowerPoint, so you can't see any of my videos, but anything from here's a quick tip for you to, here's a mini workout that targets a specific area like abs, legs, total body tone. People love things that are going to be between 15 and 40 seconds long, because we have a short attention span. And they like when you do either a specific body part. Like my most popular video is called the saddlebag workout, which is funny because I've done different variations of legs and butt, but that particular word, women related to. Abs would be a good one. Upper body, whatever it is that you want to do. The back attack. And you can record you doing moves. Where I get my moves are from our workouts. So if I did 21 Day Fix lower body, then I can take 3 or 4 of those moves, put them in a fast video, and put it on my wall, and I'm adding value. But I'm also teaching them something that they can then go and duplicate if they get 21 Day Fix. So when they ask me, where did you learn that? I'm like, this is part of my workout for the day. And my favorite video creators, if you guys want to know, are Animoto, Splice, and Pick Play Post. Animoto, Splice, and Pick Play Post. And they're all both on your phone and on a laptop. They're really easy to use. Okay, and then Facebook wants your money. They do. So the way it works right now, if you have a like page, you're going to need to invest in some money if you want to be able to grow your page. And usually it's not a lot. So about a $50 budget a month or $100 budget will go really far, especially as we're going into the new year. And what you can do is either boost a particular post. I like to do things that add like value to people, like my free groups, a workout video, or something that tells my story. When you boost a post or run an ad, you cannot have a transformation photo in there, and text can only be on 25% of the picture. You also can't use any words like lose weight or like so-and-so lost this amount of weight. You can't do anything like that, but they will accept things like be healthy, eat well. So there's not an unrealistic weight loss like thing. It's not a gimmick. And you can, when you boost a post, all you do is you'll post your thing on your like page. There's a little tiny button at the bottom. You'll just click that and then choose your target audience. So type in a couple words that are like you, fatherhood, hunting season, whatever, people that you would want to hang out with. And you can choose to run it for a series of days, or you can choose to run it just one day, and then you can choose how much. And it's anything from $1 up to thousands of dollars. So if something does well, you can add more money to it and get it to reach more people. If it's tanking, you can always push pause and cancel it. And that's what I do. I just kind of play around with them because some of them take off, some of them don't. Then you can also run continuously an ad to get more likes. And how to do that, there's lots of different avenues to go about with that. But what I do that's very simple is just select my target audience. It's USA and Canada, women that are ages 22 to 45. That's my market. That's who I am. And then I put in my different parts of my brand, and I run that ad, and then it'll just show your Facebook picture, your little profile picture, and your cover photo to people, and they can choose to like it. And you get to put in a few different words in there. So I just explain who I am and what I'm trying to do. So
I'm sorry, when you're running an ad, I noticed recently, like, you have a choice. You can put up a single photo or video for the ad, or now you have the option of putting up to 5 videos that will actually scroll in the ad. What do you prefer? What do you recommend?
I like to do both. So I always have a couple of ads going, and I don't put a ton of money into each one unless one just takes off.
Okay.
And then I'll add money into it. So when you say you want to run an ad to get more likes or to boost a post, they'll give you the option to add in multiple photos.
Yeah. And
usually one of them will do way better than the others. So you can go in and like cancel out the others once it takes off. Like you can see it and test run it. Like these 4 aren't doing very well. This one's doing very well. Then just cancel out the others and just run with that one. And if it's bringing in more likes, etc., then that's the one you want to run in, and you put a little bit more money into that right now, and it's going to pay off. Because during this season, we get to add those people as friends and start forming them and build connections and invite them to our free group that's going to happen right after Christmas, right? And then when they need to get fit for January, they're going to know you're that crazy fitness person that they kind of want to hang out with, and they can hang out with you online. And so it really helps you to expand your reach. And you just do that through targeting your particular people, like, whatever you're interested in. So. Okay. Yeah. And then just do you. So the biggest thing like that I have learned, it's kind of funny. I asked my coaches, we're doing this Emerald push, and I was like, why did you sign up for me or sign up with me, and duplicate that on your wall? Don't try to do something that's different. And you know what? The majority of my team, like probably 70% of my team, said, I followed you for a year. I didn't like her comment, but I just saw that you were real and you were consistent and you shared your story. I felt like I knew who you were. And so then after you posted several times, you were hosting a coaching opportunity, looking for coaches, etc. Then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get more information on this. And that's what the majority said. It wasn't that I had the perfect posts, because they're not. I mean, sometimes I'll share something and it has very few likes, like 3, and I'm like, what the heck? That was awesome. And then sometimes I'll post something so dumb, like my little nose one I did with the 3 poses. That's stupid. But people thought it was funny. And they, and so you never know. But people are watching. Whether or not they're liking is totally different. If they do like your stuff, I always follow up with a message for my likes if I haven't talked to them in a while. And I just say, hey, it's so fun to see you on here. Thanks for liking my picture. So how are things with you? That's all I say. And it starts the conversation. And then they usually say, I've been following you for a while and I really need to get fit, or I would love to do what you do. And then that's a perfect invite segue. Yeah. So, all right. I think that's all that was a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's so helpful, like really, really helpful. I mean, I know Tammy and I are sitting here, we've taken a bunch of notes. It's such a different world for me, I know. And it's one that we're very quickly starting to entrench ourselves in. So guys, any questions you want to ask? Does anybody have any questions or comments or things they want to ask of Emma? I mean, obviously she's a guru and she's done an amazing job at this. So fire away. If you have anything you want to ask, go ahead and throw it in the chat box.
I saw that Jody. Hey, Jody. Jody's one of mine. How do you encourage challengers to share their before and afters? Well, I set the example by posting mine in the challenge group. Even if I'm like in between, if it's the 4 weekends, on that Saturday, I call it Saturday, I'll post mine, even if I'm in the middle of hammer and chisel or whatever workout. And then they usually follow suit. And I also offer a giveaway for whoever shares their stuff. They all go into a drawing and I choose something from my swag bag, like coach gear or wear and share extra workout DVDs I've earned from Beachbody. And I'll give it away. And then I always PM them and say, oh my gosh, you're such an inspiration. I'm sure seeing other people's photos helped you to make the decision to join this challenge group. Would you mind me using you as an inspiration for other people on my wall? And then usually they'll say yes. If they're like, I don't want my friends and family to see me like this, then I'll say, what if I cut off your head? And then they'll say, okay. Because then I just chop it right here and I'll say Challenger K or whatever. And I don't give like specifics, but I'll just use that and then they'll let me share it. So, okay. I find by just being an example to others, I always look, yeah. Oh, it's so true. You just be the example. You just share your life. Okay. Would you recommend creating a brand new page and slowly start building a following, or just using your personal page? I recommend doing both, especially because of the way Facebook is right now. So on your personal page, do more personal. And you can mirror the posts. Like they can be the same thing. Because a lot of times the content you'll share on one doesn't get shown to the other. You will probably get more likes and interaction on your personal page. So then you'll go, I don't even want to do this page. Don't do it. You want to grow your page. Just to have it as a safety net in case something happens to your personal wall or whatever. But then you always need to get people from your like page onto your personal page for challenge groups, unless you're going to do it through the new challenge app that'll be coming out. Or I ran challenge groups with text message before. So.
Emma, I had a quick question.
Yeah, Tammy's here right here.
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey. So my willpower page has over 13,000 followers. So what my approach has been a little bit different in that they don't know who I am. If I do put something personal up, it doesn't seem to get any traction, but the page continues to grow, and I need to infiltrate them come January. And I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. My first thought is maybe free groups so they do get to know me, because it's so big now that I don't know, I haven't built relationships with any of them.
Right.
But the page continues to grow.
So one of the first things I would want to do if I were you is to get them over to your personal page so they can get to know who you are. Because even though they might see your content as valuable, a lot of times people don't know if they can trust you until you open up a little bit. Does that make sense? Because they might not know if it's coming from you or from like some manufactured thing. Does that make, like a robot, something that's not going to be sincere or genuine? That's great that you have so many followers on your page, and you want them interacting and hanging out with you. That's the plan with social media. And Shalene Johnson talks about that too. You want them to like you to the point where they'd want to come be part of your family or your friend circle. And so by just filtering in some of those things, like I said, it takes time. And so it might be new to them and they'll go, huh? But then after a while, even if they don't like or comment, they might read it and connect. And then you can use that as a way to build that relationship. So I can talk to you a little bit more about that. Or if I were you, there's a great training from Sandy Krakowski on it. That's where I got my content, like where I've learned. And she's amazing. And she has stuff going on all the time. I think her trainings are like $50 or something, but it's worth it because you learn so much. And she will go through and show you every button to push, every, like how to do everything to get like dark market.
What was her name?
Sandy Krakowski. And it's the K, it's Krakowski. Krakowski. And she has like purple hair, short. She's an older lady, but she's like the social media guru. Or Shalene Johnson.
Right.
Those two are great. But
so
I would love to.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, are those really the two schools of thought and education that you followed and went through to really acquire your skills?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I did. And then a lot of trial and error and just being myself. So if you look at my page a lot, I have 13,000 people that follow me. Sometimes I only get 4 likes on something. Sometimes I get like 150, and it's just kind of in between. But the thing is, I'm going to just keep doing me and being consistent because I've learned that that's what people want. I mean, even if they don't like or comment, they come to my page for motivation or inspiration or real mommy stories. And then they'll message me, or I'll add them as a friend and we connect, and they feel like they know who I am, So it's like having a book or a blog or a storefront, and people come into your store and they expect something. They go to your store for a reason. They go to Starbucks for a reason. It's a feeling that you're giving them, that they feel like I belong here. She's my people. And that's why they end up coming back or whatever. So, say the name of the social media. Yeah, I'll just type it right here. But I gotta run. I'm so sorry. I have another call that's starting, and I don't mean to be rude. I'd be happy to answer any questions in a Facebook message if you guys want to send them over. And Don, I'll send you the free group like outlines if you guys want them. If you don't,
that would be fantastic. That would be so great. You could just shoot the document over to me, private message, and then I'll put it up to the team.
Sounds good. Thank you all for letting me speak on your call. It was an honor. I hope it helped.
It helped tremendously. Thanks so much for your time. You're wonderful.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good night. Good night, everybody. We'll see you.